Imagine the feeling of just releasing your debut album and one of your songs goes so viral that it launches you right onto the Billboard Hot 100 for your very first time. With her debut album After 7 freshly released and a secret new project on the way, Lay Bankz is just getting started. I'm your host, Tamara Dhia, and this is the Spout Podcast, where famous people spout off about more than what they're famous for. And today, that's Lay Bankz. Lay Bankz, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, girl. I want to say first off, congratulations on all of your success. Going viral is not new to you because you first got a taste of virality with your song Ick when it started doing numbers on TikTok. But it was your latest song, Tell Your Girlfriend, that catapulted you straight into the Billboard Hot 100, which marks your first entry onto the chart. This is a lot to take in, I am sure. But how did you feel when you first heard that you charted?
It was like so like surreal. It didn't even feel like it really was happening. I think when you expect, like, I expected for the song to be big, but for it to be my first Billboard entry, that was just like crazy. Like I was like, dang, I prayed for this.
So you knew when you made the song, you're like, oh, this one's going to be a hit?
I knew it was gonna be a hit, but being on Billboard is
Yeah.
like, wow, like, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think it is about Tell Your Girlfriend that's like resonating so deeply with fans?
I think the topic is very controversial, and I'm touching something that people aren't normally prone to speak about in music, especially women nowadays. And I also think that it just gets people moving. Like when on first listen, you might not care for what I'm saying, but when you hear it, you instantly want to dance. And I think that's what's so captivating about the song.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you and say on first listen, you do actually want to hear it and dance because it's got that earworm in it. Like it was like an immediate, like, oh, wait, hang on, let me listen to the full
Yeah.
song because like I first heard it on TikTok and I was like, there's those songs where you're like, nah, I need to hear the whole thing. So this was
Yeah.
definitely one of them. So it's been really fun and exciting to see, like this rise for you.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't know, like you're still super young. Happy belated birthday, by the way. I know you just turned 20 years old.
Yes.
What did you do to celebrate this year? You have a lot to celebrate.
I spent some time with my friends. We had like an Airbnb, and I was still working in the midst, so I took the day of my birthday off, and we just had like a birthday party in Atlanta. It was fun. It was cute.
Nice. Well, we love cute.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are just kind of getting introduced to you and your music, but what they don't know is that you've been grinding in music for a few years now. Is it true that you wrote your first rap at age 10?
I did. Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Um. Honestly, like I feel like because I always knew I could sing and I always had a passion for music. I've been singing since I was 3. So I wrote my first real rap song at like 10 years old out of just taking poetry classes. And I told my mom, yo, mom, I'm about to write a song. She was like, okay, write a song. um, I don't really remember. I think it was called Impossible. I don't really remember what it was about, but my mom could probably tell you. My mom don't forget nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wrote my first rap song at 10.
Are you like, who were you trying to emulate at that age? Obviously when we're young, we're looking up to these artists. Who were you looking up to at that age that you're like, let me write my own rap?
I want to say mute, like singing wise, I was looking up to Beyonce. Rap wise, rap wise, there was a bunch of people. Like I love Lauren Hill, and I love Missy Elliott. So I feel like both of them played a big role in like my rap inspiration.
Nice. I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, because like you have such a distinct visual to your videos that you do, which is really cool, especially like with the camera work. And now that you say Missy, I'm like, oh, like I do, I see it. Like I see like where that inspo would come from, which is like so dope. Because already it feels like, when you see a certain artist, they have like their mark, and it feels like you've already kind of made your mark in your own way, even just visually, let alone through your music. So that's really cool,
Yeah.
especially at this stage in your career. Talk to me about your journey in music from, writing your first rap at age 10 to now being on the Billboard charts.
Um, so I wrote my first song at age 10. My mom had me in a bunch of music classes, like piano lessons, guitar lessons. I went to creative arts school, so I was taking music in school and outside. My mom was really serious about it. And then when I got to high school, I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna drop my first song. I don't care if people hear it. I don't care if it's the biggest thing in the world. I don't care if one person hears it. I just want to drop my first song so I can feel accomplished for myself. And I put my first song out, and it was called Passion. I actually got it tattooed on me right here. Yeah, I dropped it 10/19/2019. And after I dropped that first song, it probably had like 200, 300 views on YouTube. And luckily for me, my manager, Kenny Blake, seen it and he heard it. And it was just up from there. We just been working ever since. So it's been 5 years since I've been taking music serious now.
Well, how did you get the name Lay Bankz?
So Lay is, well, my real name is Leia. And Banks is an acronym for Billionaires Attract Natural Kinetic Zen. And I came up with the acronym because my whole life everyone called me like LB or Lay. And I knew that when I got into music, I'm like, yo, like people are not going to take me serious if I'm going by Lay because it sounds too kiddie. And if I go by LB, it's too short. So like I need something that people are never going to forget. Um, and billionaires attract natural kinetic zen basically just stands for like to be a billionaire, you have to be rich and wealthy within yourself, like mindset wise. And you have to attract the natural energy and kinetic energy, which is an energy that never stops moving. My favorite subject is science. And kinetic energy to never stop moving, to move forward with the peace of mind,
I love that.
basically. Thank you.
You seem like you have like a very strong head on your shoulders for being so young and like so.
Thank you.
That's really great to see.
Thank you.
When you and Ciara dropped "De Girls," she posted a video saying that you taught her how to do your dance, which was so cute. And
Yes.
honestly, like high praise from Ciara because, like,
Yes, I
we know
love
her as a
Ciara.
dancer. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what was it like working with her?
She's amazing. Like the way that she is online is exactly the way she is in person. She's so grounded, so humble, so full of life and just loving. And just meeting her and especially being as though that she inspired me growing up. Like I love Sierra. It was just amazing being around her and just experiencing someone's energy. Like after you done accomplished so much as an artist, um, and just being so grounded, I was like, yo, I want to be like that.
Aw, did she get, because when she came into the game, she was around your age when she first dropped Goody. So, did she give you any advice?
She did. She told me just keep going and just regardless of what anybody say, um, just be myself and stick to who I am. And she was very like serious about like the dance. She told me, yo, like don't stop dancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we obviously know Ciara is like an amazing artist, but like dance is like
she
very
is.
much like, right there up there with her. Like when I think of Ciara, which
Yeah,
is why when I saw that video, I was like, oh, that must be so cool for Lay Bankz, like having Ciara be like, "Psh, teach me your dance."
yeah. It was really cool.
You recently released your debut studio album, After Seven. Congratulations.
Thank
So,
you.
what does After Seven mean?
So seven, I'll give you a little background on the number seven. So seven is like my number. And the reason why I say it's my number is because not because I chose it, but because it chose me. Um, and anyone who believes in numerology understands like when a number picks you, it picks you. Um, and I just would go through really, I went through a lot of really traumatic experiences and I went through a lot of hardships and even the good things. I went through a lot of great things in my life and seven was always there for me. It would always pop up like in the weirdest places. Like I'd be driving down the street and just see 777 on the billboard. Or like I gotta make a phone call to a number and the number is 777 or like I don't know, it's just weird stuff like that. But the whole backstory of seven is just the simple fact that I went through a lot in my life and it's like after seeing seven all of these times, what's next for me? And I feel like this project was really me digging into that vulnerability and just expressing myself differently. Like I'm still so young and I'm still finding myself, but I feel like seven was almost like a spirit guide and a number, just telling me, oh, hey, you're on the right path. Anytime I seen it and I was doing something good or something crazy was about to happen in my life, I would see the number seven and I was just like, yo, okay, you're on the right path, or your angels are watching over you, or don't give up, or it might be rough right now, but keep going. And it just always was a reminder. So the whole concept after seven is like after seven, this is what it is.
Nice. I love that. I also have numbers that I like kind of use as signs or like barometers for,
Yeah,
am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? So I love that. Have you
yeah.
always been into like numerology or, obviously your name Banks even talks about kinetic energy. Has that always been something you've been interested in?
I want to say no, honestly. I came up with Banks just off the strength of, like I said, I needed a name that people would never forget, but something that still meant something to me. Um, but the number seven was really just like on a deeper level. I lost my aunt, and I lost one of my childhood best friends, and I kind of gave up on faith and just life and religion, and I really was confused about myself, and I went through a lot of like self discovery. Um, and in that process of self discovery, I seen the number seven so much that it became hard to ignore. Like at first, it was like, okay, seven. I might have seen it, but you know how you see something and like you look at it in passing, and then you just keep going. It just became a thing where I just kept seeing the number seven like ridiculously, like at a ridiculous amount, and it was like in patterns, like seven, 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 or like two sevens, like 77, or just I don't know. It just was a lot. And I feel like after seeing it as much as I did, I just became like, okay, this is my number and it means something. And then I started looking it up and it meant divine timing. And your spirits are aligning and people are watching over you. Um, and I just took it with a grain of salt, like, okay, this is my number. And I like this means something for me. And I think that was the moment.
I love that. It's very special. You've been steadily dropping tracks from After Seven. You've dropped Would You, Too Bad. Do you have a favorite on the album?
But I have two. So definitely, like, okay, I gotta say, I gotta give a big shout out to Tell Your Girlfriend and Would You Love Me, because those are like, Would You Love Me is going crazy right now. So, like, I gotta give a shout out to that. But like, my personal favorite, I'm gonna have to say Too Bad and 7 Days, 7 Nights, only because Too Bad is just such a, like, it's such a vibe. Like, I don't know, it's just such a vibe. 7 Days, 7 Nights, I sung my behind off. So like I just love that song because I feel like I really was like going in vocally, and even the space that I was in, like Lover Girl, I was just so Lover Girl, and like I just had so much to say at the time. Um, and then On My Soul too. I feel like I have so many favorites on the project, but On My Soul, I love that song too. Like these are the songs that I put in rotation though. Like Tell Your Girlfriend, On My Soul, Would You Love Me, Too Bad, and 7 Days, 7 Nights are like my top five.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's a good top five. Like I've been listening to
Yeah.
it. I was like,
Thank you.
it's really great, like debut album. So it's really exciting to
Thank
see
you.
like the trajectory of your career just going to keep going up.
Thank you.
Obviously as you're getting more and more popular, I would imagine there's probably other artists that you look up to that have reached out to you. Has that happened yet?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I connected with Lotto recently. I love Lotto. And even a couple other people like Choppa and Ali Choppa, me and him did the song together. But just having those relationships with artists that I admire, who are really resilient, like, I gotta give it to people like Lotto and people like Choppa because they are so good with just going and continuously just pushing and just believing in things even when people don't believe in it. Um, and I find myself to be one of those artists as well. I think a lot of people might not understand me on first listen, or they might not get it, or whatever. And even if they don't, I think just breaking that barrier, like, bro, I don't care if you don't like my stuff or not. I love it. And you're going to keep hearing it over and over and over again. And if you still feel like you don't like it, oh well. But there are people who really do. And yeah, I just meeting those people and them just giving me, advice about just resilience and just to keep going and to never give up on myself or my dreams or what I believe in, just was amazing because like you meet these artists and they're exactly who you imagine them to be, and that's like the best thing about it.
Yeah. I'm on the side of the internet where everybody loves you. Have you felt like pushback?
For sure. I think everybody experiences, like hate and just people who don't like you. But I think if everybody loves you, it's like who's there to, you know, I don't know what is it like. Yeah, who's there to check you basically? Like who's there to like tell you, oh hey, like it's kind of like what does it mean when someone's like kind of like not like a confidence booster, but like a, you know what I'm trying to say? Like when somebody like keep you grounded,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, like
Humbles
you
you.
might not like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I think for me, I don't veer into the hate. I pay more attention to the people who love me because I wouldn't be who I was if it wasn't for the people who love me. But I think if you don't got no haters, you ain't popping. That's what Beyonce said.
Ain't that the truth? There's this saying. It's haters are just confused fans.
Exactly.
So I love that. I'm
Exactly.
like, oh, you just don't know yet. Like you'll find out. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I also love it when like if someone's like, oh, I don't like I don't like you. I'm like, it's okay. Nobody's perfect. So
Yeah.
they'll get there. We've had a lot of female powerhouses drop albums this year, which has been really fun. Who are you listening
Yeah.
to?
Right now, I'm really looking forward to JT project. I can't wait for her to drop. Um, I'm really looking forward to. Well, I've been listening to Flo Milli stuff a lot. Her whole project sonically is like amazing. I'm still listening to Flo, the group from
Oh, the old
the
school.
UK.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, I'm still listening to their project. Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. I'm still listening to that. Um, and I don't know if like it was so random. I'm still listening to Lauryn Hill, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah,
I'm still listening
classic.
to it.
Yeah.
Um, it's a lot of people I'm listening to right now, but I think those are probably my favorite right now.
Who are you looking to collaborate with in the future? Like, who's like dream collaborations for you?
Um, if we shooting for the moon,
Shoot
I'm
for
gonna
the
have to
moon,
say
girl.
Beyonce. We
Yeah.
stay in Beyonce.
Yeah. Hey, you look, as far as I'm concerned, you can speak things into existence. So if you don't say it, what did they say? Closed mouths don't get fed. So,
Exactly.
so what do you have coming up? Like, what does the future look like for Lay Bankz?
Well, I just dropped my project After Seven, so I hope to go on tour for that project very soon. I have a lot of shows coming up. I have a show in Korea coming up that I'm really excited for. Um, I have Powerhouse, I think, in October in Philadelphia, which is like the big festival. Looking forward to that.
Is that your first
Also
time
looking,
playing there?
I did Powerhouse, I think 2 years ago, but it was on like someone else's set. This year, I have my own set, which I'm looking so
Because you're a
forward
Philly
to.
girl, right? So this is like playing
Yes,
for
I'm
your
from
hometown
Philly.
crowd.
Yes, it's exciting, especially to have your own set. I think like that's the best part about it. Um, I'm looking forward to traveling and just making good music, and whatever my album sounds like. I have another project coming.
Oh,
Um, I can't speak too much about it because
okay.
it's a lot in the works that goes behind that
Uh
project.
huh.
But this project is actually coming very, very soon.
Oh,
Like,
that's exciting. Okay, give me
yeah.
a hint, like just something that the fans can like hold on to until it drops.
Let's just say after this project comes out, I'll have graduated into
Ooh.
another era of life. So,
Ooh, we like that. That's exciting. That's definitely something for them to hold on to and something for all of us to
yeah,
look forward to.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Like, it was like really nice to talk with you. And I'm so excited,
Thank
A,
you.
for this new project, but also just to see After Seven make the rounds and just kind of see you do your thing. It's been really cool to see so
Thank
far.
you. Thank you so much. It was good talking to you.
Of course, you too, Lay. Have a good day.
It is what it is. That is what we're rolling with as a saying, both for Tamra and because you're having some tech issues, so you might sound a little funny. It's okay. You're here.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah. But it is what it is when it comes to Justin Timberlake getting a DWI.
Yeah, well, his is what it is way higher stakes than mine.
Correct. Just a quick recap, even though I'm sure anyone seeing or hearing this knows by now. He was pulled over after blowing a stop sign and failure to maintain his lane in Sag Harbor, which is basically the Hamptons in New York. And there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of color being filled in from there. But what happened was he went to the drunk holding cell. He was there for 9 hours, got let out, released without bail. He now has a July 26th court date. Couple quick things to note. He did not submit to a breathalyzer or a BAC test. Now, a lot of people on the internet, because there's just attorneys all over Twitter, apparently, saying it's the dumbest thing you could do. Obviously, it's implying that you were guilty. His attorney has made a statement saying that, no, we look forward to challenging this everything. And for what it's worth, right, wrong, or indifferent, if you can afford a really good attorney and they can't prove that you were drunk because they don't have a BAC thing, I don't know. I see this being a court case that we're going to be updated on Twitter for sure.
Yeah, look, I do not condone drunk driving
Correct.
in the least. Like a really, really irresponsible decision on behalf of Justin Timberlake, who not only is a father, but he is currently on tour, and that could have gone a number of different ways,
Right.
which would have had much worse results. So, first and foremost, do not drive drunk. Secondly, the thing that I was taught ever since I was able to drive and drink, I was taught to never submit to the VAC test. So doesn't matter what position you are in. Again, do not drive drunk. That is the number one position you should be in.
Is the only position. But then just
correct,
like a little like cool mom commentary here, like you
Yeah.
know, if you ever found yourself in a precarious situation, which we hope you don't, and don't put
Right.
yourself in that. Yeah, a lot of legal advisors saying just don't do it because
Yeah,
it's case
so
closed at
that's-
that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of rights that citizens have when it comes to situations like that. And generally, it is in your best interest. I am not a lawyer, but what I've been told by lawyers is it is in your best interest to decline those things so that everything can kind of get washed out in court properly.
Due process.
Yeah. Exactly right. Yes.
Yeah,
But shame on you, Justin Timberlake.
Shame on you. And if you're
Yeah.
listening to this and not seeing Tamara, she's doing the shame with the fingers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the one thing that it does, everyone's like, well, you lose your license. I'm like, I don't think Justin's worried about that right now. Your license automatically gets suspended for a year and a $500 fine. It varies state by state, but it's pretty generalized across the U.S. When you do that. But if he wins in court, it doesn't matter. Now let's get, now that we have the pleasantries of this situation out of the way, he is due back on stage tomorrow at the time of this recording. And here's where it gets real interesting for Tamara and I. I have just received word that assuming he goes on stage, Tamara and I will be in that room in Chicago.
Exciting.
So yeah, we will be there. It's interesting. He obviously, again, at the time of this recording, has not made a public statement. The only kind of statement we've heard was from his lawyer saying they look forward to fighting this. In my opinion, it's been 3 days at this point. He's not going to make a statement until he's on stage or at all.
So yeah, I agree. Or he may not even address it. If he
Right.
does, it'll be probably tongue in cheek. I assume his lawyers have probably drilled it into him not to say anything that might sway the results in court.
Sure.
In a negative direction for him. So if he says anything, it'll probably be something tongue in cheek that
I could see him getting on stage, doing his first 3 or 4 songs, and then saying something like, so have there been any stories about me online? And, just for that quick
exactly,
laugh, like acknowledgement, and then move on.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, that's the best thing he could do. So I think, he's been in the media since he was a young teenager. So he's not new to this, but unfortunately, this is pretty dicey thing for him to be a part of.
He's not new to scandal. He's not new to upsetting fan bases. We know that. And I think that's what complicates this a little further is like, not that it's right, not that it should be happening, but celebrities get DUIs all the time. And I mean, Morgan Wallen, Scotty Scheffler got pulled over got pulled out of his car. Take Tiger Woods, name it. I literally just did a presentation on my other show for my friends of famous mugshots of why you should smile in your mugshot if you're famous. A lot of people bounce back. This is not a career ender. Thankfully, nothing worse happened.
Thank God. Yeah.
Thank God for that. But it all plays down or comes down to how he's going to let it play out. Will he show up on stage tomorrow? It's been confirmed internally through sources, but also you never know. It's ultimately his decision. He might wake up and say, I can't do it. I have some inside sources who I can't disclose that say usually in these situations, he's been known to kind of hide or recede from the public eye. I don't think he's in a position to do that. Obviously, this is interesting because he's in the middle of his world tour. We've all seen the memes. By the way, as a JT fan, that's not making excuses for what he did. I think the memes are hilarious.
Totally.
No one's ever asked for him to be memed more than this situation.
I know.
So I'm not defending that.
The picture of him walking out with the handcuffs, and there was one of the memes that was like, dirty babe, you see these shackles, baby. I'm just like,
I mean, and then people are taking the Britney versus Justin. I don't want to touch that. That's a whole different, that's just taking two different traumas and again, trying to reunite them regardless of what sides you're on. I do love, because there's a lot of rumors. Nothing's been completely confirmed, but that, part of the sobriety or field sobriety test was that he had to stand on one leg and turn, which which I was like, how do you fail that? That's NSYNC choreography. Like
That's what I'm saying.
You've been
like,
doing this for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get back into your muscle memory at that point. Like,
literally. Plus him walking out that shot where he's mid-step and his hands are in front of him handcuffed. Why has he got like an NBA fit on? He looks like he's walking into MSG, man.
More importantly, who took that photo?
Right. Like, if I'm him, I hired someone to take the better photo for sure.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think that came from him. Like, but is that legal? Like the police, like, is that for the police station? Like, there's so many questions here that are as of yet unanswered. But yes, who took that photo? I'm dying to know. Like, maybe one of Britney's fans.
Call it into the pops. The other thing too is the new court date, or the first court date, I should say, is set for July 26th, which is the day that he is supposed to start his European leg of his tour, the Forget Tomorrow World Tour. That's Poland. One thing that has come to light since is that virtual appearance will be allowed for that court date. So if he does show up, does he do it from Poland? Does he cancel the tour entirely? What happens? No. Obviously, we won't know yet, but I don't see him if he cancels his tour right now, I'm telling you right now, then he has to kind of leave the public eye for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense for him to cancel his tour. What I will say, and something that he reportedly, we don't know yet that this is confirmed.
We're using the words allegedly, reportedly, and sources are claiming very carefully.
Yes, exactly. So reportedly, the police officer that arrested him, someone is saying, it's not confirmed yet, but that Justin Timberlake under his breath said this is going to ruin the tour. And then the police officer said, what tour? And Justin said the world tour. So there's two things in there. One, that the arresting police officer was 22 years old and that he did not know who Justin Timberlake was. Right. And then the other side of it, which we should discuss, is a lot of countries actually have laws against people entering their country when they have a DUI or DWI arrest on their record. Sure. So obviously with Justin Timberlake going on a world tour, it'll be interesting to note what countries that this might affect his entry into.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it obviously has its challenges from an international standpoint. And then he's coming back to the U.S. Again, this is all presumed that the schedule's not getting disrupted to do another round. And it's interesting because he has a couple dates in there. Chicago, where I am and where you will be tomorrow, Tamara, is one of the dates that he's coming back to in October. And there's no real rhyme or reason. I mean, as much as I love the guy, I don't think the demand is there for him to be here for 3 different shows in like a 3 or 4 month period. So the rumor, allegedly, was that he's playing New York, LA, Chicago, again, Miami, I think might be in there because of an NSYNC reunion. Now, who's to say what happens now? I do know that Travis Scott really took the pressure a little bit today because, he just got arrested for his own set of issues. What was it? Disorderly conduct and yelling profanities and other. Yeah.
Well, I will say this about Travis Scott. The way he's handling it is way better. And again,
he tweeted LOL. Yeah, that's great.
Well, he also literally just released merch, and it has a picture of his mugshot on it, and it says, it's Miami. So, which is what he reportedly told the police officers when he was like, I'm in Miami, it's Miami. Like,
man. What do you want me to say? It's like being arrested in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, the strength of what they've done is very different. Like, obviously being intoxicated in public is one thing, but driving while intoxicated is completely different because you're putting not only your life at risk, but other people at risk. So if Justin Timberlake had put his mugshot on a t-shirt and just said it's the Hamptons, it would have not gone over as well.
It's the perception of who you're touching with the, not that it's good to be caught by police for anything. But obviously regardless of, and again, thankfully nothing happened, and it wasn't too severe of more than just a traffic stop. You're always going to reach an audience of people who unfortunately lost someone to a drunk driver or are touched to that kind of a situation. So this is a different nerve than Travis Scott yelling, F-bombs at another boat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know what's in the water or in the booze these days, but
these kids can't handle their alcohol, man.
I know, right?
These kids meaning Travis Scott and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake's like 40 something. Yeah. That kid. He's had a lot of practice. He should know better. I mean, that's another thing though, is the implication that he's dealt with issues with alcohol before. Yeah. So that's another thing that it's like, is he going to announce that he's going to rehab? Like there's all these other intangibles that we have yet to really know what direction this is going to go. But yeah, I mean, I would think it would be a really horrible move for him to cancel his tour. I don't think anyone would recommend that, especially on his team.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's, like you said, I think the best move for him would be to make a tongue-in-cheek comment tomorrow at the concert and then just let it go until he goes to
silent. Do your show, do the thing that people still love you for right now, and then let July 26th court date come, and the chips will lie where they may.
Yeah, and just so the audience knows, I did not know we were going to Justin Timberlake tomorrow.
Oh,
for the record.
Sorry. Surprise! Assuming he gets on stage, we're going, yes.
Yeah.
We'll
JT,
see.
You better show up.
Yes.
I'm so excited. That's so awesome.
Tam, I'm excited to see you. She'll be on my side of the Spout studio tomorrow, and then look out for more stuff from her and I soon. I appreciate you, and thank you for the legal advice. But again, Tamara's not a lawyer, so don't take it verbatim.
I am not a lawyer, so just blame my dad.
Is your dad a lawyer?
No, but he told me never to accept.
What was the point of saying that?
No, because he's the one that told me don't ever like blow the breathalyzer. And if a police officer ever asks to search your car, say no. You're allowed to say no.
Okay.
So those are all things that
Cut in the stream here before Tamara's like, this is the down and dirty way to get people across state lines. Tamara, I appreciate you. I love you. I'll see you soon.
Bye.